Hello, it's Auret here of Estetino Artists, and in this video we're going to talk about building a content creation strategy that not only works but is sustainable and it is manageable. So this video will be helpful for you if you know you need to post, but you're just really struggling to post frequently or often because, life gets in the way, other things take over, and it actually takes a significant amount of time to create quality content, and not only to create it, but to prep all of it so that it can be ready to post on whatever platform it is that you're working on. Recently, we've been tuning in a lot to what Gary Vaynerchuk has to say, and he's been saying this for a long time already, is that you need to post every single day. Post as much as you can, because that's the way that you're going to stay relevant in this day and age. A lot of other people out there are raising the bar, and they are the ones who are being seen online, and people are remembering who they are because they're always being seen. They're visible. They post all the time. This really made us think back to the strategies that we used for constantly being able to post and create new content all the time. On our YouTube channel, we release 4 to 5, sometimes 6 videos a week, and we're able to do that because we have a certain system down. And I've talked about that in previous videos, but for this specific video, we're going to talk about building a content creation strategy in general for whatever platform you're going for: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. This 7-step strategy will work for all of those things. So let's dive in. So I've opened up a Word document here for you guys, and I'm going to make this super big so you can see it. And I'm going to write out the steps. So number 1 is decide how many times a week you can realistically post on that specific platform. And realistically is the key, because if you're at a place right now where you haven't posted at all in a very long time, but you just want to get the hang of it, you need something to start building that habit of creating a new piece of content or releasing a new piece of content every week, then just start with 1. Keep in mind that your goal is to do as many times a week as possible. So every day if you can. But for right now, to get into the habit, realistically, how many times a week can you post on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter? And also keep in mind that different platforms have different standards for how many times a week or a day you should be posting on that platform. For example, Twitter, you can upload 20 tweets a day and, have them go out at different times of the day, because that is the rate at which Twitter works. It's just constant little pieces of news that people want to digest really quickly. So, but for Instagram, for example, or Facebook, it might be less. Maybe it's once a day. But bottom line, pick a number, pick a goal. How many times a week do you want to release a piece of content? And let's move on to the second step. So second step is important. It is to identify who your audience is on that platform. So who are you trying to reach? What problem are you able to solve for them? What value do you bring to that particular group? For us on YouTube, we target online entrepreneurs or creative entrepreneurs who are interested in growing their businesses and making money online. So we are able to create content with that in mind, create content specifically for that audience. And that's something that you want to do, is to create purposeful content for that audience and mix it up with a few personal posts, casual posts here and there, and a few promotional posts as well. This is the difference between creating good content and just pushing content. It's purposeful. It's for that specific audience. And it's never going to be the same content. You're never going to always be creating the same type of content. You want to experiment with different things. But this is the baseline. Start off with identifying who your audience is and where you fit in terms of providing valuable content for them. So step number 3 is to set topics or themes around what you're going to be posting. So what do I mean by certain topics or themes? Well, to give you an example, on our YouTube channel, we, like I said, post 5 to 7 times a week, and we have specific content come out on each day that has to do with a specific theme. So Monday is all about Make That Money Mondays. Tuesdays is all about business tips or social media Tuesdays. Wednesdays is about video creation, where Jewel releases Camtasia editing tutorials. Thursdays is mindset, and sometimes on the weekend we release product reviews. So set your specific, so looking at how many times a week that you're able to release content, set certain specific themes or topics to those days, because what it is that you'll be doing is you're simplifying your content creation. It's easier to come up with a specific idea for a piece of content when you know you need to think about a piece of content around this specific topic, rather than leaving it open and deciding, what should I post? So that kind of narrows things down a lot. It frees up your time, and it also is a way to communicate clearly what other people can expect from you in terms of what they can see on your profile. If you're deciding to post once a week, then make sure you're choosing a theme that is still wide enough to encompass everything that it is that you want to talk about, because you're still, you want to experiment with different kinds of content. So for example, if you're a fitness instructor and you want to get to the point where you talk about both eating habits and exercise or fitness habits, then maybe, you'll start off just by saying that every Wednesday you're going to release a piece of content that has to do with creating healthy habits. Healthy Habit Wednesdays, right? So that allows you to encompass all different things, whether it's mindset, releasing quotes, or exercise videos, or eating. And then as you start to get into the habit of posting, maybe you diversify that into twice a week, where you separate the fitness content, the exercising content, from the health or from the nutrition and eating content. So you might then turn into Mondays and Wednesdays, Mondays being nutrition Mondays and Wednesdays being exercise Wednesdays. Whatever those topics or themes are, make sure you communicate them on your banners. So on your YouTube banner, if you were talking about YouTube, and Twitter as well, or in your bios of Instagram, make sure you let people know what they can expect to see from you. Okay, step number 4, set a day of the week for idea generation. So for brainstorming content, that's probably a better way of saying it, for brainstorming content ideas. All right, so what you're going to do here is you're going to batch the brainstorming of content ideas. So you're going to choose a specific day of the week. Let's just say it's Saturday, and whatever works in your schedule, and sit down for an hour or however long it takes you to come up with different ideas for content on that specific theme or topic that you chose. So this is why step 3 is really important, because it will make step 4 so much easier. And how many ideas do you come up with in that one sitting? It really depends on step number 1, on how many times a week you're posting. Ask yourself, for how long in advance do you want to set yourself up? So maybe you want to set yourself up for the next 3 months. You're going on vacation for a full month, and you need to have this all set up ahead of time. So if that's the case, then each month has 4 weeks, 4 times 3 is 12. So maybe in that one sitting, come up with 12 different ideas and make them concrete. The more concrete and the more descriptive you are when you're coming up with these ideas, the more you're setting yourself up for success when it comes time to actually creating those pieces of content. So what I mean by being more descriptive is actually don't just write down your idea, but hash it out. Write down the points, like 3 to 5 points underneath that, of what that involves, what that piece of content is about. If, for example, you're doing this for Instagram, and going with the same example of healthy habits, and you want to do something on breakfast foods, well then write down talking about these breakfast foods, write down what they are, talk about the times that you need to eat at. One of your points should maybe be source an image from Pixabay to do with breakfast foods. Like the more information you give yourself, the faster it will be when it comes to step 5, which is content creation. Decide how many pieces of content or ideas you want to come up with and just go ahead and do it. You can also set yourself a time limit. So instead of saying I want to come up with 12 ideas, you can also give yourself an hour and say whatever comes out in this hour is what I'm going to have a long list of ideas, and my minimum is 12, but if I come up with more, that's awesome. The next time it comes around to doing this step for the next round of content, then I would have already set myself up for success. Okay, step number 5 is to set a day of the week for content creation. So you came up with your day for coming up with or brainstorming content ideas. Now is going to be actually creating the content. So going to grab that image, writing up the caption ahead of time, filming a video for YouTube, coming up with a description for that, all these things that comes with creating one piece of content. This is where you're going to put all of those assets, whether it's text, images, or video, together. So 2 things I want to mention about content creation is that you really want to go for quality, not quantity. So a couple things I want to say about content creation is, yes, you want to go for quality over quantity, but sometimes when you say that to the perfectionist, i.e. I am one of those, it can cause too much overthinking. When you're creating a piece of content, it's like, oh, this has to be perfect. I need to do quality, so it needs to be all right. And, you could spend way too long than you need to on a piece of content. So yes, keep it in mind, put effort into creating good quality content for your audience, and that's why you identify who your audience is. But at the same time, don't get too stuck with it. So you want to create content that is on topic, on theme for what it is that you're talking about, but at the same time, mix in some different things so you can experiment. So maybe you're posting more of a personal post showing something funny that happened to you that day, or you're showing a picture of yourself in the gym or out at a restaurant with your friends. You want to mix in that value content along with what you are actually standing for. So who you are as a person will matter, and that needs to be embedded into your content strategy, because people get to know who you are, they create a connection with who you are, and that is really what helps in terms of engagement on any platform. And the other thing that I want to say about content creation is, yes, you want to do all of this and create your content ahead of time, but keep in mind that your content creation strategy should also include sporadic content creation. And that happens to us sometimes on the YouTube channel. We'll just decide to do a live stream. And in general, live streams, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram, on IGTV, this kind of sporadic content is also really great and should be included in your content creation strategy. The other thing that I want to say about content creation is that leave a little bit of room for spontaneity. So yes, create, set a day of the week to come up with your ideas, and then set the next day, preferably, for actually creating that content. And that will be the content that you have ready to go, and that allows you to post consistently and manageably. But you will also make room for, that live stream that you're going to do, or that post where, you did a hike and you just want to post a picture of like in the moment. Leave room for that spontaneity. And that's actually the beauty of setting up this whole content strategy ahead of time, is that those little spontaneous, sporadic pieces of content will be extra on top of what it is that you're already planning out on doing. So for us, for example, we kind of throw in a live stream every so often, And it's, it's spontaneous. It's something that, if we're traveling, we'll just kind of throw up our phone and go live to show people our surroundings and where we're at. But at the same time, we also have those set pieces of content coming out Monday to Thursday every week. So set a day of the week for content creation. And like I said, we typically do it the day after creating or coming up with those ideas. So for me, I prep my ideas for what I'm going to be filming on. I do that on Monday. And then on Tuesday is my filming day. So that's my content creation day. And I like to put them one after another just because the ideas are still fresh in your mind. So I recommend doing that as opposed to having your brainstorming ideas on Friday and then content creation on Wednesday, for example. So step number 6 is to schedule your content. So once you have a batch of content ready to go, use your favorite scheduler to schedule your content. And this is what's really going to help automate and systemize the whole publishing content. This is what's going to help your content creation strategy and allow you to stay visible on social media. So for us, we use the YouTube scheduler to schedule our videos ahead of time. Instagram, I know there's a platform called Later. They used to be known as Latergram, which I've used in the past to do with scheduling Instagram posts. There's Hootsuite. Facebook allows you to schedule a post directly within the platform. So find a way to schedule your content on your specific platform or on more than one platform. And then step 7 is repeat the above as needed, right? So you've set yourself up for X number of weeks. So the week or two before that content runs out, do this whole process again. So number 1, decide how many times a week. Can you up it to 2 or you want to stay at 1? Number 2, identify who your audience is. Go back and look at, who is engaging with your posts. Who are they? What do they do? What kinds of problems do they have? And that's the thing too, when you release content like this on a consistent basis, you'll have people starting to engage with you, leaving comments, that kind of thing. Respond to all of them. That kind of it's kind of stepping away from content strategy and stepping a little bit more into a solid social media marketing strategy, is to engage. Social media is a two-way street. You can't just post. You need to also be present and engage with people on that platform. So I recommend as soon as you're done scheduling your first batch of content, already set a day, like a date of when you're going to start brainstorming for the next round, and also set the date for when you're going to be creating content for the next round. This is what's going to help you maintain, stay on top of, and manage your social media presence in a sustainable way. This outline that you see before you is how we've been able to post on YouTube for years. And when you do that, you're 10xing your marketing efforts. And it's awesome because this is all free. Posting on social media is free. So use that to your advantage. And in order to really stand out, you need to be posting every day. You need to be posting very often. Let me know as well if you'd like us to do a live stream discussion on this particular topic of content creation, because there's just so many things involved in this. Like, we haven't even talked about what specific types of content to create, and the social media marketing strategy in general, engaging, that kind of thing. There's just so much around a marketing strategy to talk about. So if you have questions, if you'd be interested in doing a live discussion, like a Q&A, then please let us know in the comments and we can make that happen. All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Back from the dead.